welcome back to another episode of Catch That, where we break down R&B albums, artists, and eras with folks that love the culture, and are super knowledgeable. And I am naturally Elise, and as my brother,
JR.
and we are the R&B representatives. And today we are welcoming back a very familiar face, and a face that we love to see, and a voice that we love to hear, and that is our very good brother, aka Triboro Gigolo, our homie. How you doing?
What's good? What's good? How y'all doing today?
Good.
Oh, I'm great. How about you, Junior?
I'm good. I'm good. Now.
And for the folks who must have been under a rock, how about you tell us about yourself as much or as little as you would like to share with the audience?
Well, I'm Triboro Gigolo from Brooklyn, New York. I'm a content creator. I love hip hop. I love music in general. Love comics. Love sports. Many different things. And I have my own channel on YouTube, That Ain't Rap Podcast, where I discuss things that I grew up with, and hopefully a lot of other people grew up with as well.
Yes. And JR,
Yes.
how about you tell everyone who Tribe picked to talk about and why do we think it's important to talk about it?
Okay, so y'all, so today we will be discussing Mack Wild's New York, a love story. Try it's you better. And
Yeah.
we New York heads. So
You
this
already
album
know.
is a New York album. So this is gonna be a lot of New York slang. We're gonna be doing all of that. Elise is actually from New York, y'all. So catch that. She might be in North Carolina, but she's a New Yorker. So you got three New Yorkers here. Don't lie.
I'm not a New Yorker.
You're not.
I'm not.
How long was you in New York?
For like 10 years.
Enough.
That counts, yeah.
So, enough.
Upstate, though.
That counts.
Enough.
Okay.
Right, enough.
Yeah.
So,
I was born in North Carolina. I got to rep.
yeah, that's
Right.
home for her, but she was in New York. So you got three New Yorkers. I
Oh,
say
yeah. I
again.
love New York. Love it. It's my
Yes.
favorite.
So I'm so hyped to try actually pick this album for real. It's actually a newer album, which I'm happy too, because y'all thinking that me and Elise always want to talk about 60s and 70s and 80s. No, we
Right.
want to talk about current albums as well. So this is gonna be a fun episode for real. I'm really ready to talk about this. So what it actually even made you get into Mack Wiles, even, because we know he's an actor, but what really made you get into him as an artist?
I heard, I think it was Own It. I heard Own It on the radio back
Mm-hmm.
in like 2013, I think it was. And
Mm-hmm.
I know him from watching The Wire, back on Sunday nights on HBO, and played Michael on The Wire. So I'm familiar with his acting skills. I didn't know he could sing until I heard the song. And then when I heard the album, I was still using my iPod. So I had downloaded the album to my iPod, and he had like Pete Rock and Premier, Salam Remy, those producers on the album. I'm like, and I grew up with Pete Rock and Primo's music and Salam Remy stuff he did with the Fugees and Ziggy, and Havoc is also on the album, and I was like, well, this is like a hip hop soul album in 2010s, and at that time we wasn't getting a lot of that in R&B at least. There was like Eric Bellinger was out. We had Beyonce was doing her thing solo wise, and so I didn't really enjoy R&B during that time. But with this album was a surprise. You liked R&B at that time?
No.
Oh,
I'm agreeing with you. I'm putting
oh,
my
because
hand
you
because
raised your hand.
that's
I'm
when
like,
I started to like not really enjoy R&B either,
right,
especially mainstream wise. But yeah, go ahead.
right, and yeah. So this album was different, and it went under the radar. And I don't understand why. Maybe it's because he was an actor and people didn't really take him seriously as a singer. But I thought it was definitely an album that needed more recognition. I'm like, why not, we discuss this album in length, track by track, and maybe people that slept on the album will go back and listen to it.
You know what? I kind of got into it on Own It, but it was crazy because when I was in my old apartment, I was listening to Music Choice, if y'all
Right.
people still listen to it. And I was listening to Music Choice, and I was on the hip hop and R&B station actually. and I was cleaning the crib, and I was hearing a couple of joints, and then this beat came on, which was Eric B for President.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I know this ain't throwback jams. I ain't on that. I'm on hip hop and R&B. Like, wait a minute, who is this? So you know you're not really paying attention while you cleaning the crib. You just listening to music. So
Right.
then I look up and I'm like, Mack Wiles? Who the hell is this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know who no Mack Wiles is.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, you know, I like this song, and I'm like, own it is it's a jam, and then it's bringing me back to the '90s. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I like this because you know I was listening to this R&B hip hop, and I was just sitting here like, some of these songs I ain't liking, and it's not hitting me like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So finally I get this that kind of caught me, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So I started doing research, and I said, this is Tristan? Wait a minute, this dude from The Wire?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. I was like, I didn't know he sung either. So then after I did the research, and like you said, he had Pete Rock on there, DJ Premier, he had Havoc, he had Bank. You know, then Rico Love was on there. Rico
Right.
Love was starting to get popular, you know
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying, during that time. So and then he had Neo on there and James Poison. I was like, well, let me listen to this album, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And then he
Yeah.
called the album A New York Love Story. And once I listened to it, I was like, okay, this is definitely New York. If you a New Yorker, you get it. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And it definitely with the samples used and all that, it's like it has that New York 90, I say from 87 to like 1995. That's
Mm-hmm.
the feeling you get. And I was like,
Right.
okay. I was like, it was definitely something different because I was like you said in the beginning, it was like, this is the time where I was not liking where mainstream was going with R&B anyway. I
Yeah.
kind of sort of switched in 07, but by the time we got to 2010, I was just completely over it because I was like,
Right.
I see where this is going. It ain't my cup of tea. Now I gotta go find artists and listen to music choice and find all of this. So when I got to this, I was like, yo, this is fun. It's different. It's fun,
Yeah.
but it's still nostalgic. So I was like, okay. So
Yeah.
that's how I really
And
got into it.
and he's not gonna get, even if he could sing a little bit, he's not gonna get the cosign from, legendary producers like Pete Rock and Premier, Havoc, unless they really felt like, yo, like this dude can sing. We got to put our beats on his album, so that'll cross over into the hip hop community where, oh, they
Right.
know him as Michael from The Wire. Let's check out his album.
Yeah, give him the credibility.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I discovered him. I was a big Wire fan. I watched it in real time. So yeah. So I was curious about his music because I thought he was such a great actor, and The Wire is one of my favorite shows of all time. So, so I definitely checked him out. At the time, it wasn't quite my thing. Um, I mean, just because of the age I was, not because of music, not because anything was wrong with the music. So it wasn't until kind of much later that I revisited a lot of his music, and that was just an age gap, and
Yeah.
um, but I loved him so much as an actor, and I saw little things he was doing because he would be like online rapping and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, it's like actually really good, like because a lot of
Right.
people do try to to do the double triple thing, and they suck at one of the things, or they like just are a little bit good. But I was like, no, he actually is super talented,
Mhm.
with, whether it's music or whether it's acting. So
Oh yeah, people try to triple threat and just don't got it
Right.
yeah, it,
at
it
all.
it'd be like a 2.5 thread.
Yeah, not even 2.5, because this girl knows she can't act.
Right.
Renaissance. Oh.
Oh
Stop
wow.
it.
Going there.
Stop it right now. Stop it right now.
No. Don't come for me, be sad, please.
You did
I
it
ain't
to
say
yourself.
that was
I
him.
did and did
Like,
and they
she
know
like,
it
look
too.
at you straight. Get in it.
She called it straight. You know what I mean? Oh God.
That's
But
your
yeah,
first try.
right. Y'all
No,
thought
I ain't say nothing about Beyonce. That's him. B-Hop go
y'all
after
just
him.
gonna
That's not
throw
me.
me under the bus. I'll take it. Even though I ain't talking about her music because I just said she can't act. But
Right.
but but yes, that's the thing. I like the triple threat thing that you said. Because there's some people that you just don't have it. And
Mhm.
he did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like he definitely has a voice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I heard it, I was just like, yo, he's actually good. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And then, like you said, try to have Pete Rock and DJ Premier and Havoc and all them behind. They ain't gonna get behind you if you ain't good. You
exactly,
know what I mean? Because
exactly.
that's their credibility on the line. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So
Right,
you got to be good. You got all these dudes, Salam Remy, you know what I'm saying? Or all he done work with.
yeah,
They not gonna put this dude on the line and work with him and not, you know what I'm saying, him not be good. So it was
right.
just like he had to have something. And he
Yeah.
does. So
Yeah.
and he dresses it across this
Oh
too,
yeah.
though.
Yeah. And before we get into the album,
Mm-hmm.
in y'all's opinion, why do y'all think that this album didn't do really that great?
I think for me, this is 2013, and it was a 2013, and this was a very strong R&B year. It was because you had so many albums come out that year, and it was like he definitely got put on the back burner to me. It's like people here own it, and it was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh yeah, we like that. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
then I think he came out with Hennessy, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
that was a
He,
single. Yeah.
that was the single. He came out with that. So people is like, they feel the nostalgia, but then you had artists like Janelle Monáe that came out. You had Tamar, you had K. Michelle, you had Justin that came
Mm-hmm.
out with
Sierra,
2013.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Madison.
yes, and you had all these people coming out. So it was like, even though he was doing something different, you also had the R&B heads like us
Mm-hmm.
that was happy that we was getting these real R&B albums that was getting love in the
Right.
mainstream. So it kind of put him on the back burner, even though he still got nominated for a Grammy. He still got the
Yeah.
Grammy nod. You know what I mean? But I
Mm-hmm.
think that's why it was to be. I think it was so much. It was like some people kind of went under the rug for real, for real. That's
I
my
agree. I think um it was more like ushering in the new artists for that era,
feeling.
and people wasn't really trying to hear like a hip hop soul album. You know, if this came
Mm-hmm.
out in the '90s, it would have blew up. Everybody would have talking about it. Would have done a world tour, everything. But I think for that time, it was more about the newer acts, the pop acts like Justin Bieber and Beyonce was out there, and
Yeah.
a lot of I don't even remember like that year of all the albums that came out. I remember like certain people that was out there, but
Mm-hmm.
it was a lot of music that I wasn't feeling, and I was more into the hip hop side of things at that time, and even like the rock stuff that was coming out. So um when it came out, I checked it out, and I just was surprised that he was able to do an album during that time with the
Yeah.
producers and having and just bringing nostalgia back of '90s R&B because it was missing for so long, and we didn't have no other artist that was doing that. Even Mary with the stuff she was coming out with, it wasn't the same as some '90s stuff. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So I think it was like a mixture of that, and just having the social media at that time, and it was seeing social media and the artists that were being promoted on there. They wasn't promoting him at all. You know what I'm saying? And I think he had did the 90210 reboot around that time, or
Mm-hmm.
so it was more about his acting skills and what he was doing, and they wasn't really checking for his singing skills because I didn't know he could sing because he never sang on nobody. You know what I'm saying? I never watched the reboot for 90210, and maybe he was singing on there, but they wasn't really checking for him on that side of things. It was more about his, the Hollywood thing. Like,
Yeah.
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 And then now that I think about it, in 2013, when I look and see what songs were out, it was a very I don't know, things were kind of leaning more in a more of a watered down kind of poppy area.
right,
Mm-hmm.
Not like bad, but just a little less intense and not so. I think Try said it earlier. People want ready for a hip hop soul
hmm
album, and those
Mm-hmm.
albums they didn't have a hip hop flavor per se, except maybe
right,
like Sierra or somebody. But otherwise, you didn't have really that feel.
right,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that. And then it was just like and then by this time, like me and Elisa said, by this time, R&B wasn't getting really love in publications. So
right,
it was
right.
really hard. You
hmm
know what I'm saying? You had so many people came out. Like we've done episodes about David Hollister coming out
Yeah,
around 2014. He
hmm
wasn't getting any love. You know
right,
what I'm saying? It was just like people didn't even know he had an album out because
hmm
it was no publications talking about it. So
right,
for me, I actually did when I started, before I started Julius World of Soul, I was just doing blog entries, and I did a blog entry on this album,
Right.
and it was like I really didn't get a lot of viewership about it because also a lot of people really didn't know because it wasn't the promotion like it was, and I think he needed, to me, I think Mack Wise needed like a 106 in Park in this moment. Because if he would have had that, it could have had that audience for him. He needed that 106 in Park audience for this, and he didn't have it. So it was like, where do you put him? Where does he go? Where does he go for promo? Who does he talk to? It's like, by this time, the Breakfast Club is out. So you're going to send him to the Breakfast Club, but you know that they ain't no shit. So they just going to ask him about his acting shit and not really talk about the album because they probably didn't listen to it. So it's like, where do you put him? And then social media, you learning with social media, you can push your joint all day long, but everybody's not seeing it. And it's just, it was a whole different thing. So it just kind of left him kind of, you don't know where to put him. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of sucks. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And then I wonder if with pretty much it being all like familiar 90s like hip hop samples, I wonder with the age group that would have been his target. So his target probably would have been like for the kids, even though us grown folk were listening to it, but as a target. And we're like, yo, this beat. It's like, why they getting so hype? I don't know.
That's another thing, because if you grew up on Group Home, that came out in the 90s, and he sampled the realness from the Group Home album.
Yeah.
If you grew up on Mobb Deep's, Murder Music, that was 1999. He sampled the Quiet Storm train. So the Learning from Infamous.
Oh, the Learning from
so that was like early 2000s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of these kids wasn't born in 2000, 2001. So they're like listening to this album, like, what is these samples? Like, what am I hearing? Who's Dougie Fresh? Who's Ray Kwan?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that had a lot to do with it also. But he's from Staten Island, so he already had, Wu-Tang. You can just hit up RZA like, yo, like, let me get Method Man on the album. Let me get Raekwon. And just having that old school flavor on the album. I think that's the reason, to me, like the main reason why people slept on the album. But you had Rico Love was blown up, like you said. He was everywhere at that time. So you have Rico Love, you had Neo. He's a great songwriter. He's written hits for many people.
Right.
So I think he tried to balance it, and people just overlooked it.
They overlooked. Yeah. I think so. I do.
Yeah, and then I wonder if people try to like compare him to like a Chris Brown and that sort of thing. Like, well, we already got him. What we need him for? You know how people are, to where they act like they can't be fans of multiple people out at the same time. But it's totally possible. You can like everybody if you want to.
That part.
If you like it, it's not wrong.
And I think, and the way his era was, it kind of reminded you of a little what Chris was doing with his debut and exclusive. Kind of like that. It was fun. It was colorful. It was this. You know what I mean? But Max was so New York. You know what I'm saying? Chris made his so much worldwide. That was the difference. You know what I mean? It was like Chris was able to run it. Sounds like a New York record. I mean, with Jewels on it. You know what I'm saying? It sounded like, but it made it so global. With that, it was like they just kept it New York. So where does he go? Like, he can't do an interview out here and do this and do this. It just the cards didn't fall for him. You know what I'm saying? Even though the album is good, it just, the promo wasn't right. You didn't know where to put him. You didn't know how to market it. You didn't know anything. And like I said, he needed a 106, because if he could have got them, the girls, the fans, the this. They could have went crazy over it. It could have been, calling for this video to be played. Like, they really could have went in on him, but we didn't have that. And I think was 106 in Park done, because they redid it like 18, 19,000 times.
Yeah,
and
I think the OG version was done already at that point.
Yeah, and then I know Bow Wow and then the other two people, I don't even know who they is, did it, and it went nowhere. But I think it ended in like 2013. So I think by that time, Matt couldn't even go on there. You know what I'm saying? So oh God, I feel so bad because it's like I wish he would have had more cards out for him because if he would have, I think the album would have did a lot better and he would have had an audience for it. You know what
Right.
I mean?
So we could say that he was like the hip hop Chris Brown, but he didn't have the dance, like he didn't have the dancing skills like Chris Brown.
Right,
Right.
right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree with
Yeah.
that. I
Mhm.
agree. I agree. I agree. All right, so let's get into this album, people.
All right.
Get
All
into this
right.
album. So we started off with Wild Things.
Mm-hmm.
This joint to me is like it starts off like you walking through the project, you coming from the corner store,
Right.
you throwing on your hoodie, it's cold as hell, and it's like it makes you start wanting to sing "Bring the Ruckus" or Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Like it gives
Right.
you that, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like it
Hmm.
gave you that flavor, and then when the beat comes in, obviously "Bring the Pain." You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it gives you that, and obviously it makes sense with Method Man to be on it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So the song was great, and then to open it up like that, it was just like, oh, okay, I'm getting that New York gutter. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Yeah.
that's what I liked about it. I thought it was a great opening to come in with a New York love story. Hello,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So
Definitely.
yeah, that's how I put it.
Yeah, I thought it was a great track to open up the album, and it sounded like a track that the RZA produced, like from
Mm-hmm.
the first Wu Tang album in the '93, Enter the Wu Tang, 36 Chambers. You
Mm-hmm.
have Meth on the chorus. Even you have Mack Wiles doing a little rhyme on there, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
he did that a little bit on the album where he sang and then he rhymed, and it was average rapping. It wasn't like he wasn't Rakim, he wasn't Cool G Rap, but you could tell that he's from that cloth of the '90s.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing I like about this song is even when he's singing, it has kind of it's almost like a sing and talk. So it's like he
Mm-hmm.
kind of rap singing a little
Hmm.
bit,
Yeah.
not
Mm-hmm.
not in the goofy corny way, but like in the dope way.
Right.
It won't like also like Ja Rule type shit. No, it was like, oh, somebody that can sing, but they have a rap sensibility, so they kind of come
Uh-huh.
together. And I actually like love one of the things I love about this song.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like it kind of reminds you because what you call it? No, Method Man did not do a verse on it because it kind of reminds you of what Method Man did with Foxy on Il Nana. He just
Right,
did the
right. He
hook.
went chorus for that, right?
He just
That's
did the
true.
hook. That was
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying? So again, and then Method Man didn't come over. What I also like is Method Man was like, yo, this is his record.
Hmm.
I'm behind him. I'm gonna let
Right,
him shine rather than me coming on here and do a verse and everybody be like, yo, Method Man killed that shit. Da, da, da,
right,
da.
right.
He's like, yo, I'm gonna let Mac do his thing. This is his record. Let him spit. Let him do, his singing and all that, and I'm just gonna come behind him on the hook. You know what I'm saying?
But
So
let me ask you something. Like when you have a caliber type of MC like Method Man on your joint, and
mhm.
he's only doing the chorus, do you expect to hear a verse from him, or you think just him on the chorus is better?
I would have,
Mm,
you know what I'm saying? I would have, when I saw that Method Man was on here and when
right,
I saw him featured on here, I was like, oh, he's doing a verse. You know what
right,
I'm saying? I was like, yeah, he's gonna kill a verse.
mm,
But then when I'm listening to the song, I'm the first time I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for Method Man to do a verse and
right.
he's doing the hook.
The
And
hook.
I'm like, okay. And it wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, was I expecting it when I saw a feature in Method Man? Yes. I was
Mm,
like, he gonna do a verse. But then I'm like, then you hear Bring the Pain. I'm like, oh, Method Man gonna give us a nice 16 on this joint. But
right.
he didn't. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it would. I will say though, if it would have been nice to hear Matt spit a verse if Matt Wiles wasn't rapping on the track too. And so
Uh-huh.
maybe he should have just kept it to singing for that song and Matt, because otherwise, like Try said, people try to be like, "Oh, that's made that song," or he
Mm,
smoked him, or
that's true.
Yeah.
anything like
That's
that,
true.
as people like to do. I'm
Right.
people, I do
Mm-hmm.
it too. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But I think it was this joint is dope. It's a dope
Yeah.
joint, and definitely a opener. When you got again a title that says New York, a love story,
Right.
this definitely gives you the flavor of New York. You know what I
Definitely.
mean?
Oh
Like, and like you say, try it gives you like a RZA type of joint. Like
Hmm.
Oh, okay. I'm ready. I'm ready for Wu-Tang to get on and eat it. So I thought it was a great, great joint to open with, for real, for real. Yes. All right. So my crib. That's my crib. Not this song reminds me of my teen club days, right? Because this is my teen club day, sneaking out the house, trying to go to the club with my best friend Vernon. Like we used to try to sneak out and go to the club, and my mom, I lived on the third floor, so it was very hard to try to sneak out to go to the damn club. Right. But we used to always play "You, Me, Him, and Her" beat, which is
my favorite
Jay's
track
joint
from the Dynasty joint.
From the Dynasty, yes. But y'all know this is the Moments. What's your name? Yes. Right. So when hearing that, it just took me back to like my high school days, and again, me trying to go to the teen clubs and party and all of this kind of stuff. And it just, again, it's the nostalgia of it, and it made me feel good because, again, like we said, Tri said in the beginning of the show, it's like, yo, I was not feeling what mainstream was going, so I needed something to make me feel good. And this nostalgia was bringing me back there. I'm like, oh shit, he's using this. Okay, bet. You know what I'm saying? So it made me that, and then the video was dope because they was on the Staten Island Ferry and all that. Again, just keeping it New York. You know what I mean? So it was I love just singing the hook. You know what I'm saying? So my crib is dope. You know what I mean?
And everybody at that time, once the Dynasty came out, I remember there was a lot of artists, MCs that was freestyling over that "You, Me, Him, Her" beat. So to hear somebody sing on it and that actually could sing was refreshing to hear. And it sounded like a mixtape joint, during that mixtape era. Like, if you put on a Clue tape, if you put on a K Slade tape, rest in peace K Slade, and you hear like an R&B joint, and it's like, like Mack was singing over that beat, and it gave me the mixtape nostalgia from that era, and it was great. And then like the video had he was on the Staten Island Ferry, and then he had like the chick with him, and that same girl was like in all of the other videos. So it was like a story type of thing. And I thought it was great. I thought it was like a great single for him to put out, like for people that grew up in the early 2000s and especially grew up on the Dynasty album.
Yeah.
This is like one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, this one was one of my favorites on the album for sure. And have you listened to the remix with Pusha T?
Yes, that was dope too.
Yeah.
Oh no, I never heard it.
Yeah, he has a remix for that. He has a remix for Hennessy with Mobb Deep is in the video.
Oh yes, oh yeah, we gotta get there. Oh yes, oh wow, okay. So I'm gonna listen to that after we finish the show. I never heard the Pusha T joint, and y'all say the joint is ill, so I'm gonna definitely check it out.
This song is one of my favorite of his vocals on the album. I mean, I think the vocals are strong through the whole album, but I just love the way that he is singing. It sounds really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm it just and like I said, it just takes me back to the Dynasty when I was in my room blasting this album in my mom's house with no bills at all. Like at all, no bills, no nothing. It was just like I didn't have to worry about paying for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I had my little job and my mom let me keep my little money. You know what I'm saying? Like it just took me back there because this adult life, y'all, it be adulting. You know what I'm saying? So in that moment to listen to my crib, to go back to that and be in my room with my six disc changer in my room with my speakers and just blasting albums that I love, and Dynasty being one of them. It was just like, it just took me back. And I was like, yes, come on. And like you said, it sounds like a mixtape.
Yeah.
Like a mixtape. Like you can see this on a Clue or K Slay or, you know what I'm saying? So again, the New York vibe. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, he kept it. He kept it there. So, oh God, I love the joint too. Love it. Love it. We're going to one of my favorites on this album, Hennessy. And I don't like it just because of the drink, y'all. So try me not. But
Henny.
No,
it's not. I was just saying it's not Tennessee. It's
Henny.
Henny.
Yeah. Right. Henny. Right. Yes. This is one of my favorites because of the the learning beat.
Yes.
And this right here is definitely when I used to blast in my room when I was ready to go out for the
Mm-hmm.
night. You know what I'm saying? A
Right.
Friday night, I'm getting ready to go out. I
Mm-hmm.
got my clothes out and I'm blasting the learner in my house because that beat is so dun dun dun
Right.
That's
Oh
dun
yeah, that
dun
beat was
dun dun.
crazy.
Dun.
that's also like Tried said earlier with everybody wanted to rap over that Dynasty joint.
Yeah.
This is another song that I have heard 1 gazillion freestyles
Facts.
over.
And then with the fact that Angie used to play this,
Yeah.
before her, her what was it? Her top four at
Top it was top 8. It was the Battle of the Beats.
Battles of the
And
Beats.
she would pick
Yes. And
like a new song, and then it
yeah,
goes into another song. Then you call in and you vote, and then
yes.
if it wins, it
And
makes
she
it for like the whole week. And yeah,
and it would be like one of her theme songs. So I
yeah,
just remember her just playing this, and it was just like, this is 2001. This is
mm-hmm.
ooh, like this is just like Elise, how she said in one of our episodes, I forgot what it was. Like Elise was like, I was outside. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
so now this is taking me back to when I was literally outside. Like I'm
right.
out partying during this time. And then to hear this joint, it's just like so ill and it's so hard. And then
Mm-hmm.
for the remix, for
Mm-hmm.
him to add Buster, French Montana,
Mm-hmm.
and had Mob Deep in it. You know what I'm saying? To have both of them. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Havoc and Prodigy in
and
it.
Prodigy.
You know what I'm saying? In the video, it was just dope, yo. And I was like, this is one of my favorites. I still play Henny because I just
Right.
love how it comes in after my crib. Like it
Oh
just
yeah.
dun, 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 dun,
Oh yeah.
dun, 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 dun. Like I'm like, I love it. Just so New York. So I love this is one of my favorites on the album.
And
Totally.
what I like about it also, he didn't just sing over the beat. Like he added some strings to it, so it has like an orchestra feel. And then the
Mm-hmm.
beat drops, and everybody knows that beat from Infamy. And that was my favorite song from Infamy. And we discussed that album, me and Reg, like weeks ago. And it was a dope album. My only issue with that album was this is during the time that Jay-Z was going at Nas and Mobb Deep, and I felt
Yes.
like Mobb didn't really go at him the way that they should have. But that learning beat was like like Elise said, everybody was rhyming over it. So it's definitely a classic record. And the fact that he did the remix with Mobb Deep as well, and adding Busta Rhymes and French Montana, they all from New York, so it has that New York flavor. And only people from New York would understand that. If you
Yes.
outside of New York, if you like in Alabama or something, no shade, but you're not gonna understand the New York
You ain't
flavor.
gonna get it. Right.
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 No, I
You
agree.
know,
I agree.
yes. You ain't this is like he keeping it real with the New
Yeah.
York flavor for
Oh yeah,
real. Like,
for sure.
like this is just how deep this joint is for real.
Yeah.
So oh God, such a favorite. Like I think I watched the video maybe a couple of weeks ago,
Hmm.
and I was just like, yo, just to see Prodigy, R.I.P. to him. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
to see him in it and him and Havoc in it, just
Hmm.
having it, I think Havoc went first and then Prodigy went,
Yeah.
right?
And Prodigy, yeah.
Okay. And then have Buster,
Yeah.
extra character in the
Oh yeah.
video. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
A
So
lot of energy.
it just was just so dope. You know what I mean? So I love Henny. I'm probably gonna
He had
blast
to
that
have
after this
Busta on it
too.
because Busta's like the king of like collabs and features. Being on
Yes.
Flavor in Your Ear remix and
Yep.
scenario. You gotta have Busta on this.
Yes. Yes. Or the Annie Up remix.
And the
Like,
remix, right? Yeah, yeah.
yes, you just gotta throw Buster on it because he gonna give you a dope verse.
Oh yeah, for
As
sure.
crazy and extra dramatic as it is, you
Hmm.
still gonna get a dope verse
Definitely.
from him. So I think it was brilliant for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But again, if he would have had a 106 in Park, they could have performed this on
They could
106
perform
in
on there. Yeah.
Park, and it would have went
It
nuts. You
went
know what I'm
crazy.
saying? So
Oh
it's
yeah.
just damn. But it's out, and y'all can go listen to it. The joint is dope for real, for real. So
Definitely.
yeah, love Henny. Yes, as y'all can see, I'm hype over this record. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Oh man. All right, so we get to own it.
It's okay. I was trying to get it before you said it. I was gonna say it's all right if you're going crazy over own it. But you was too
Yeah.
fast. I was too slow.
I,
It happened.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry because you normally do it every episode. You do. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yes, own it. I mean, what more can we say about this record? Like I said, using the Eric B as president beat, and it's just a fun record. The video was fun. You know what I mean? And it's on some Staten Island shit. You know what I mean? Me and Tribe wouldn't understand we're from Brooklyn, but I'm just playing.
You ain't playing. That's all right. Now, one thing I will say about Own It, Neo produced it, and you can tell because it sounds like a Neo song to me.
Absolutely.
Which isn't a bad thing because I love Neo, but it do sound like a Neo song. It's like a Neo song with a hard beat.
It's his cadence on it.
Yeah.
And the way he's singing it, it sounds like a Neo record.
How Neo would,
you know what I mean? Yes. You can always tell, like, again, when Neo writes songs for people, you be like, okay, it's the cadence that this person is singing at. And like maybe a little ad-lib that they give is like, oh, that's a Neo record. So when I did hear it again, I was like, oh yeah, it makes sense. This is Neo totally, but just add a hip-hop beat to it, and that's what it was.
It's even the way he's singing, it's like a Neo song, but with an edge, because his voice has a little more of a
grit.
Grit and more of a power. That's how I wasn't going for grit, but that's true too.
Yeah.
His voice is a little more powerful.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
A little bit different.
Yeah, and it's like when you hear Neo on a beat, like, well, when you hear Mack Wilds, but I'm picturing like Neo singing on it, and his cadence when he's doing the lyrics, and then on the chorus, and him singing over like a 80s breakbeat. That was iconic. Everybody knows that would be in Rakim beat, or they should know it, and again, it was another great single, and it gave me that nostalgia from the 80s and 90s. And then you have the video where like the girl from the last video from Henny, she's tagging up the wall. So you have like the graffiti aspect also. That's part of hip hop culture, and that's the videos went with the songs for this album, and that's an important thing to me still, is giving the visuals for the tracks.
Just make the videos make sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we get now, you be like, I don't get, why was this video made? Because it don't make, I'm not understanding this here. Like, I'm so confused. Like, but with his videos, it's like one went into the other, and then the same girl was in it, and it was it just flowed. Like, he had all the key elements for this album to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of it, the videos, the production, the this, the that. It's just the promo. And that's what we go back to. It's just the promo because everything was right. The videos was dope. The songs was dope. It's just damn it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, but I mean, what you gonna do? I mean, but Own It, definitely a great single to start the album off with. You, like you said, you getting the hip hop heads off the break. You know what I'm saying? Once they hear that shit, they like, well, y'all, because y'all two are big hip hop heads. You know what I'm saying? Elise is an R&B rap, y'all. But that girl,
listen, I've been trying to get Elise to do an IG live with us because she loves boot camp, and I wanted to do like a boot camp live stream with her, but she's, y'all are busy, so.
Oh, listen, she'll do it.
Oh yeah.
I remember I hit her up like months ago, like last year sometime. We was trying to do like a boot camp because some of them follow me, and I was like, we got to talk about boot camp more. Yeah. And she has like all the vinyl. I'm like, this would be dope to have like a woman that loves boot camp and have the vinyl. We don't see that much of I've been saying this way. I want to see more hip hop females, out there. Like we know that they hip hop heads, but they don't want to really show themselves. Yeah. And y'all have the perfect platform. I'm like, at least we got to get you on it.
Yeah, that's why at least be on Apartment 5B with Killing Them.
Let's talk about it again. Let's make it happen because I would definitely still let her do that.
Anytime they want to talk about that, like Kill would be like,
boot camp? Yeah.
That's what, yes. When Kill and them know that they talk about boot camp, I'll be like, yo, y'all want me to get Elise? He said, nigga, you think I wasn't gonna ask you? like they know that she loves boot camp down. So it's like, and to have, like you said, try to have a girl like Elise that love hip hop and really be going toe to toe with the dudes with it. It's like,
that's important. That's important.
Yes, to see her in action, like when we on Apartment 5B, and I just be like, I ain't got nothing to say because she said that. I'm like,
And I think it's good to give another perspective and balance to the conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
yes, agreed. I
Because,
definitely
you
agree.
know, a woman is going to just pick out different things that hit them because they're
Right.
Yeah,
just different. And I think a lot of women haven't been able to get their opinion who know about the cult, who like really know, not just a
right.
casual fan, but like people that are really into it.
I
So
really don't.
Right. Right.
I did an episode with Apartment 5B like years ago. I was on another platform and we discussed boot camp, and they actually reposted it.
Oh
But
wow.
I didn't know Kill and the rest of them back then, so I didn't really have much to say. Like instead of like giving my rankings for the albums, so we did like
Yeah.
an album ranking for like the first wave of boot camp in the '90s. But I didn't really know them like that, so it was like I didn't really have a lot to say on that episode, and
Yeah.
I never did anything with them again. But I mean, I saw hopefully in the future, I'm able.
Oh, don't you worry.
I know you got to connect, so
Yeah, don't you worry. I'm gonna go right to him and be like, "Get try on the show."
yeah, it's long
like
overdue.
you would make sense because again, like all of them and y'all, please,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
please,
that would be
yes,
good.
it make total sense. Oh yeah, don't you worry, try. Okay, got you. Because because like the next song, you would make magic on the show,
magic. Yeah,
like for real, like you would. Now, y'all, this song is cool, but this is a skip for me.
really.
I'm a
You didn't
skip
like
with
this
the.
song?
I'm a skip with the magic.
Wow.
Really?
Yes, yes,
Why?
I
I want
am.
to know why. Didn't you like this song?
I don't know. It does have the New York flavor that
Mm,
it does, but for me, it was just like okay, you know what I mean. It wasn't like I was completely hyped for it. It was just like all right,
So, when you listen to the group home album, Living Proof,
yes, oh
did you like
yes,
the realness on that album or no?
yes, because that's keeping it real. Like
Right,
that's the next one I love. I
right.
love that one. But Magic, I'm like okay.
Mm.
I'm like,
I don't know. I loved it. I just the fact that he could rhyme over a premier beat like that, and I
right.
love the group home album. That was a classic, and that was one of my favorite songs. I remember buying the cassette single for Suspended in Time because the B side was the realness
Okay.
on that single, and that was out. And he had the Prodigy sample in that, and I loved it. I thought it was a great song, and Matt killed it. That was one of my favorites on the album. And then like the way that he sang in like falsetto. So he didn't normally sing the way that he did on the other tracks. He sang with the higher pitch, and I thought that was like the added flavor to this track.
Yeah. And for this song, I'm with Try. I really this is one of the songs that I like more on the album
Okay.
because he's singing. Not only is like Try said with the falsetto, he's singing in a different cadence, and
Yeah,
he's not running away from the beat.
right.
He's he's like wrangling it, like okay, I'm gonna sing it this way, and it's gonna complement the beat
Yeah,
instead of being intimidated by it. I
Mm-hmm.
just Yeah, I thought the way he sang, I thought just the cadence of the whole song sounded different than anything else on the album. It sounded really different than things that were out. Like this is a song I feel maybe this would have been the single and push. It sounded
yeah.
different enough to
Mm-hmm.
I
where
agree.
it would have maybe stood out. Because I can't think of anything on the radio for that year that sounded like it.
I agree.
That's true. That's true. I mean, again, like I
I
said,
thought that was
it's
gonna be the one that you like love
Yeah, I
down.
thought for sure.
really. Oh wow. Oh wow. I mean, it's
It seemed to
again.
have the most R&B sensibility on it. It felt like more like I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it was like it's not bad, but it was just like, all right. It's a head knock for me, but
yeah.
it was just like, all right,
He did
I'm
like
with it.
nail trying. He said, "Skip." No, he didn't.
Oh, not.
I can't believe I don't think there's any skips on this album.
Well, after this, no, not for me. Not for me. No, no more skips. Like I'm good with it
Right.
afterwards, cause, whew, baby, cause that keeping it real, whew,
I'm just really shocked. I thought that was gonna be the song that you was gonna like go hard for.
like
So
go off
so
about.
you surprised
Wow,
me. You
because
surprise me
even
sometimes.
when I did my blog post about it, and I was going through each song or whatever, and I was like Magic. I was like, it was cool, but I was hyped for the next song. You know what I'm saying? So
You do that too, Jr.
what?
It'll be a great song, but just because your favorite or the song that like you go hardest for is next, you be like, no,
Maybe
I'm just trying to
yes,
get through that to get.
maybe that's what it is. Maybe
This ain't the first time.
you're right, right, right. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe because I have done that a couple of episodes, and then I will go back and be like, "Yo, this song is heat." But I so want the next song to come. It's like,
Right.
ah, but yeah, yeah. But maybe you know what? I'm gonna listen to it tonight again and be like, then I'll probably hit Elise and then try and hit you like,
Yeah.
yo, Magic is the shit.
Yep. Told you.
Right, right. At least to do that, she'd be like, I told you. I
Mhm.
told you. She gonna tell me I knew this was the song that you would go up for. That's why she like I'm shocked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
See,
So
I thought that was gonna be the one because we had really talked about. Because sometimes me and Jay will talk too much about an album before a show,
mm-hmm.
or not enough, and so we didn't. I have no idea what songs he likes or anything. So
Nope,
Right.
nope, not at all. All righty, keeping it real.
Keeping it real.
Baby, this is probably my favorite. When I first heard it, I was playing this album like 1 a.m. I know my neighbors was pissed, and I did not give a damn because I said I cannot believe that Mack Wiles is really singing over one of my favorite premiere beats.
Right.
Like I was like, yo, and then you could tell like Primo added a little bit more piano to it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? To give it that softness, that R&B flavor. You
Right.
know what I mean? But this joint just makes me like, I was just like, whoa, like this is 1 a.m. and I'm just blasting this shit. And I just kept replaying it and replaying it and replaying it. And I was like, yo, he used the realness. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm just losing my mind. And it just made me feel like I'm driving from like Atlantic Avenue headed to Brownsville. Like that's what it felt like. Like I'm on Atlantic Avenue just going from all the way from Nostrand and going all the way to Pennsylvania Ave and just like blasting this. Like it made me feel at home.
Definitely.
That's what it was. And me being in Maryland and I was in my house for maybe like 2.5 years now. So it was like I was getting a little more familiar with it, but it just felt like home. And I was just losing it. So this is definitely, one of my favorites. And then to use the loop um from Represent from
Right.
Nas.
Right. From
You know
Nas.
what I'm
Right.
saying? So it was just like, what the like I was just in New York world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was just losing and Represent is one of my favorite Nas
That's one of
records.
my
So it's
favorites
like,
too.
what the
Yeah.
hell? Like I was like, ah, I was just like screaming in my house, like just jumping up and down, like this shit is the shit. Like,
Yeah.
what? So yeah. So maybe y'all right. Maybe when I just heard this, it was just like, nah, I ain't care about Magic. I care about this.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
See,
It
I
gave me
got
all of that.
confused. I'm looking at Magic. I'm like, you didn't like Magic, and it was I was looking at this joint. I'm like, yo, why you didn't like this joint? But it was Magic. Magic was cool, but this joint here, this was the joint that I bought on cassette single, and that's always been one of my favorites from the Living Proof album.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, like I feel like with Mac, the different beats that he's picking, that's it's recognizable to a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not just singing over them. It's like giving them a second life. So for if people, 20 something years have gone by and they didn't hear Living Proof, and then when you hear this album and you hear how he flipped it, it's giving it a new life. And to go back and listen to the Group Home album, I thought it was a classic record, and he should have had a video for this too.
That would have been dope.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd have been ill.
and I think it's dope that Magic come before it because it leads into it good. Like I it was smart
Well said.
sequencing to put Magic going
Yeah.
keeping it real.
I
Well
agree.
said.
That was smart.
Well
Definitely.
said. Well said. Yeah. Okay. I like Magic, y'all.
I mean, you don't have to on my account, but
Right.
No, y'all, it just makes a lot of sense. And then now with me having to probably go back and listen to it again, I'm just gonna be like, JR, what was you thinking? Like, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And even Try was like, wait a minute, you know?
Yeah.
And then you did the same thing. So it's like, y'all, it's like shocking to y'all that I didn't. And it's just like Elise said, the way magic goes into this,
Right.
it flows. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, and I love a flowing album. Let it flow. You know what I
It
mean?
was good
Not
sequencing
Tony.
too. It was good sequencing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
because
Agreed.
Magic wouldn't have made sense coming after it.
Right.
It made
No, it wouldn't have. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes
yeah.
sense.
But yeah, Ja, I love this song too. This it's one of the it's one of the standouts for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you can cry to me. This is it. It definitely gives you uh like Kid It All Be So Simple,
Right.
obviously.
hmm
And yo, I would have loved Ghostface on this, even
Yes. I
though
said the same thing.
Raekwon did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
But this type of record, I just wanted Ghostface just to be on his Ghostface shit on
Yeah.
this. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
agree.
I wanted that. You know what I mean? Not taken away from because Raekwon did what he needed to
Yeah.
do. You know what I mean? But it was just like Ghostface would have been on it. It had that airy type of feel. You know what I mean?
hmm
And then I know just Ghostface would have been yeah, like he
Yeah.
would have just
He would have
went
his own
in and just
slang
went
too.
in on this shit. Like you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So but it's just definitely a favorite for me. You know what I mean? Because I, it just gave me feelings of being at home, and maybe during this time I was maybe homesick and ready to go home, and me
Right.
listening to this album was giving me that feeling. I was just like everything I was thinking of a scenario for each of these songs. Like
Mhm.
I'm like go heading on the train, you know what I'm saying? Going
Right.
from Manhattan to Brooklyn, getting on the A or the C, or
hmm
like just got my headphones in, just waiting to go to Broadway Junction to go, you know what I'm saying, to catch the L to go
Yeah.
home. Like it just gave me that, you know what I mean? So it's just this is just the
You
flavor of
ain't
New
gotta
York
lie
for
to
real.
me.
And it said Dougie Fresh was on it, but I didn't hear him though.
I didn't
I
either.
didn't
That's why I was
either.
like,
Yeah. We needed like some beatboxing towards the end of the track. Some
maybe
beatboxing
that'll
from
work.
Dougie would have been good. That's how,
Yeah,
to me, I think that's how you should have finished the track off. And
yeah.
Raekwon, he had his nice verse from him. I love the beat. The
Hmm.
singer from Mack Wiles. Again, it was like a mid-tempo melodic R&B track.
Yeah, yeah.
You know
And
what? At the very end of the song, Dougie Fresh is talking on it.
he's talking,
Yeah.
but we don't want to hear him talk. We want to hear him
No,
beatbox.
no,
That's
we
what he's known
don't.
for.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
You know,
Try,
I
we
want to
be
hear him
right here. I
beatbox. I don't
agree.
want to hear him talk. What do you got to say? Unless it's something significant to the track. I mean,
Yeah,
they
unless
did
it's
a
on some
remix of
hype
the track.
shit like, yo, Dougie Fresh, you like you
Yeah,
normally
like
do.
you giving a shout out to Harlem, that's cool. But I want to hear you beatbox. That's what you're known for. People know you for beatboxing.
Mm.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
Well,
It
if he
would
was
have
gonna
been
put him on there, have him be a hype man the whole song or something.
no,
But nobody want to
whose
hear you
decision
just
was that?
barely talking with the
Yeah,
volume all the way down. Nobody want
yeah, I
that.
don't want to hear him
We
talk.
want to hear you, bro.
y'all going off. Well, this was who produced this was Salam, right? He did
Yeah,
this one.
Salam
And
Remy.
then James
Yeah,
Figueroa did this.
Fauntleroy. Yeah.
Fauntleroy, yes, I'm
Mm.
sorry. Yes. He did this joint and I'm just like, yeah, you right. Like I would have wanted Doug.
yeah. The world's greatest entertainer. We want to hear you beatbox with Mac Wiles. We don't want to hear no talking. Like,
You're the greatest
why?
entertainer.
Why are you
Entertain
talking?
me. Are you not
Right,
entertained?
right.
It
Entertain
was just
me.
different.
Yeah, yeah, missed opportunity. I agree. I agree. I totally agree. Yes. All right. So don't turn me down. Love this record down.
Yeah,
Now this record
yeah. This
is
is
it for me.
the one.
Like this is a R&B record.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like the production musically, it like puts you in a trance, like kind of like a Barry White type of production for
Yeah.
real.
Mm-hmm.
And it obviously it they sampled the Bob James. What was the joint? Shit, I forgot the
Forgot the name of that
song. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, but yeah, y'all know. But And then to have Rico Love on it. And this is during the time where, again, Rico Love was starting to be on everything.
Yeah.
And it does kind of give you that 4 a.m, you know, Melly Fiona, kind of like the Mr. Wrong from Mary during that time he did that. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So to me, with this song, it's the vulnerability of the production and the way Mack Wiles is singing on it. It
Right.
has such a vulnerability to it. And that's what I like,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to R&B for real. Give me something vulnerable that I can connect to. And the way the production was and the way Mack Wiles was singing on it, the vulnerability got me. And I was like, yes, this is definitely one of my favorites. Again, the video was dope too,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
him and the girl again.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So it was just one of my favorites, a dope joint. It just, I like a song that puts you in a trance musically, and that's what this song did for
Right.
me. So
Yeah, it was really melodic, and he got a chance to showcase his vocals on a ballad. And when I heard it, it gave me like Barry White, Isaac Hayes,
yeah.
70s type of vibes with this song.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe that was the audience he was going for.
Maybe.
Something a little bit old school, but still has the nuance of modern R&B.
Yeah.
And the video was, well, I like the video with him and the girl at back at his house. His girlfriend leaves, and then his ex comes over, and then he closes the door on the ex.
Yes.
And that part was funny, and yeah, this was like one of my favorites, just to have him get away from the hip hop for a little bit and
Yeah.
do something really nice and slow, and it was great.
This is where the soul comes in.
Yeah,
This is where
definitely.
this is the soul
Oh
here.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Like you said, Isaac Hayes and Barry White, you can't get no thicker than that.
Right,
You know
right,
what I'm saying? So
right.
so you get the soul from that. So yes, I love this one. I love it. I love it. Well, yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, sober up. Sober up. A song that I don't need that type of song. Not for me. It's like I'm playing. I I mean, come on. He used a sample from Butter.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying?
hmm,
Tribe. Like, that's
yeah.
my favorite hip hop
That was my
group
favorite.
anyway. So
Yeah,
to use that, you know what I'm saying? It and when I heard it, it took me back to the day when I heard Butter
right.
from Low End Theory.
I went
So
through.
it was just like, again, he's
Hmm.
taking me back. That's why I said this album really, if you are a fan of hip hop from 87 to 95, you would enjoy it
Right.
because it will bring you back to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I heard Butter for the first time and Fife bodied it, you know what I'm
Oh
saying? It
yeah.
was just like, oh my God, he used this? Okay,
Hmm.
okay, I can rock with it. So yeah, another dope joint too.
Yeah.
And it was a like a late night type of joint. It was melodic.
Mhm.
You had like the strings on it, the keys on it,
Mm-hmm.
and it had a dope beat. I definitely enjoyed it. It could have been a single, and just him taking that sample from Butter, and like you said, like Five killed that joint. I always loved. I always, when people say Low End Theory or Midnight Marauders, what's your favorite? And it's hard for me because I was in middle school when Low End Theory came out, and then I was in high school when Midnight Marauders came out. So those two Tribe albums are like my favorite. So it's always hard for me to pick which one. And but Butter was like always one of my favorite songs from Low End Theory. So I love the fact that he sampled that.
Oh, mine is
Uh,
Low End.
Low End Theory.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
You
it's
know,
I don't know. I love both of them.
I do
yeah,
too, but
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. But what I love about this song is that I don't know, because most of it's so the album is like hard and loud, and
Yeah.
I like that
Mm-hmm.
the folk, even though the production, the sample is super dope, it's not in front. It's
Right.
still,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's right beside him, sometimes it's behind him. Like
Yeah.
it's not, so it just it gives the album a little more texture because it's kind of going to something different.
Right.
Right, right. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. Especially after, and he's keeping it very musical to me because
Mhm.
like you said, at least he done hit us so hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he done got hit hard with all this production here, and now we in a space where he's kind of bringing it down a little bit. You know
Right.
what I mean? And then with Sober Up, it's still smooth. It's
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
I done hit y'all over the head for like 6 songs. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So
Right.
now let me bring y'all down when you can cry to me, and then don't turn me down, and then sober up. I'm gonna keep y'all level because
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring y'all back up, but I'm gonna keep y'all level for
Right.
now. You know what I mean? So that would, yeah, it does make sense. I do agree with that because God damn, like he hit us hard for a minute. We had to kind of slow down and catch our breath because it's
Right.
like he hitting you over the head with these joints. So it's
Right.
like,
Even with the faster songs,
mm,
they will upbeat. People know them. They're gonna dance. And then when he brings us to a slower tone, it's still enjoyable. It's not like nothing that's boring. Like, oh, let me skip the slow song and get to the
yeah,
fast song. Like, it's still
yeah,
entertaining as well.
I
Yeah,
agree. I
I
agree.
definitely agree.
Totally, totally. All right, so New York Love Story. Yo, like again, I bring scenarios out for each one of these songs. This song to me is like I'm driving in Manhattan with the lights and riding through the Lincoln Tunnel, and all them lights is coming in, and it's
Mm.
just that. You
Yeah.
just riding and the lights is just shining in while you riding through the Lincoln Tunnel. It gives you that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's just such a relaxing song to me. And I know I always bring this girl in, but I'm gonna bring her in. This remind this also right after I can play this, I can play "Empty" by Janet because
Right.
it gives me that flavor, yo.
Yeah.
Like right after that, like it just gives me that, and it's just such a. And then he's giving you like a Keith Sweat, like I give all my love to you, like with that Barry White orchestra
Right.
behind him. Like
Hmm.
it's so dramatic, but it's still so chill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But again, I'm riding with the Lincoln Tunnel on this one, and I'm just in there just cruising. You know what I mean? Where there ain't no traffic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because let me tell you something, the Lincoln Tunnel will give you some traffic for
Oh
real.
yeah.
But yes, but now with this, I'm just riding and you riding through and the lights is in and it's dark, and then you come out of it into
Right.
Manhattan. It's like, you know what I mean? So yeah, so I New York Love Story, love this joint too.
And I love the fact that there's no drums. It's a acapella with just the bass line and his vocals.
But
Now you could have easily added some some drums to it, but the track I think highlights his vocals. So it's basically his vocals and the bass line going in and out, and I thought it was great. I thought it was a different type of sound for him on this album, and it was great. Like again, like he showed that he could sing over a track without no hip hop beat to it, and I think he executed it well.
yeah, I definitely think it's one of the most interesting songs for the reasons that Tri said with the no drums.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
he done hit us over the head with drums, and then you
Hmm.
come
Yeah,
get
yeah,
this with no drums, and it's
yeah,
just it sounds just as dope and
Right.
interesting. So
Yeah.
that says a lot.
yes.
And I like
Yeah.
he just kind of feel like kind of cocky, and I don't know, it's like an attitude, certain attitude he have on that song
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that
Like
that
I'm an
works.
actor, but I can sing too. Let me show you. You know.
Yes. Yes. Let me prove to you that I can do this. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Y'all just not gonna look at me as just the actor. I can do this. You know
Right.
what I mean? So
Mhm.
yes, that's that he bringing the confidence swag. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, all
Mm.
right, let me do this for y'all so y'all can stop playing games. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like, it might have probably been one of the first songs he probably recorded for the album, to be honest with you.
That's true.
Because I think to do these other songs, you got to have some type of confidence for real.
Yeah.
So maybe this might have started everything off to be like, all right, let me get this monkey off my back and let me do this joint so
Yeah.
I can get into these other songs and give it the confidence that it needs. Good one,
Right.
sis. Come on, somebody. All right. All right.
But that one song, that song would have been a dope last song. Like that in that sequencing, I would have loved that to been the last record.
Yeah.
To go out on that,
Right. With
oh,
no drums.
I mean,
I
Yeah.
can
it's
see that.
close
Yeah.
to the end, but I think that would have been a like just making a statement, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Got you. I got you. All right. The Art of Falling. This, you could tell Mac to me. I know Mac Wiles loves the miseducation of Lauryn Hill, right?
Mhm.
So this kind of gives me that of like he took it back to that with like the teacher asking the students about love to me.
Yeah.
And and you know that's what Lauren really did
That's
on the
Lauren did, yeah.
Miseducation. So him being a fan of that, his influences is right there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So he like the Art of Falling, I'm gonna give you that. You know what I mean? So that's what I got from the Art of Falling. I thought it was a dope joint for real, but it's kind of like the interlude type of flavor for real. So.
That's what I got too. Like it was melodic, it had a nice beat. He was rapping on that also, and
yeah.
That part where people's asking about love, and that was like Miseducation, Lauryn Hill. And I like the fact that he paid homage. Well, I hope he paid homage to Lauryn Hill with that. That was great.
I said the same thing in my article. I was like, I hope he was playing homage to her. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You have
like,
to.
Yeah.
I mean, because even for that album, that was groundbreaking. Just for her to win all of the major Grammys for that album, that's never been done before. And then like, we're still having the debate now in 2024. Is it an R&B album? Is it hip hop? It's a fusion. It's both.
Yeah.
She balanced it out well, and I love it. That's a classic album.
Yeah. This song, it made me think of I'm gonna show y'all. JR, you might not be familiar with it, but Try might be, probably is it feel like it could be it sounded like a blues song. Like for Blue and Exile, Blow the Heavens, like it'll fit right on in with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Which one?
Blue, BLU, Blue and Exile.
Oh,
yes.
You could stuck this on this album. This was 2007, but if you go and listen to that album, as soon as you cut it on, like just listen to one or two songs, you'll be like, oh, I see what you mean. Like,
okay, I got you.
You don't have to listen to it. You don't have to listen to a whole song. You'll be like, listen to any song on that album, and you'll see why I say that. It's that feel, which is a feel that I love. So I love it. So
got you. I got you.
It's actually one of my favorite hip hop albums. So.
Okay.
It's up
I
there.
got some homework tonight. I tell y'all done gave me some homework to do tonight.
And you'll love it album just for the instrumentation, even if you don't like how he rap. But I think you will like how he rap. But just off of the production alone, you'll fall in love with it.
Oh, okay.
Exile did that.
Like, boom bap, but it has melodies in it. And
it's very jazzy. Jazz album.
Oh, yeah. So I love it. Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Oh yeah. Well, he does remember the time. I just kept saying, this one I was being like shady as hell. I was like, okay, Tristan. Okay, he wasn't Mack Wiles to me. Yeah. It's like, okay, Tristan. Okay, you doing your little, paying homage to Mike. You know what I mean? So I was like, I get it. You know what I mean? I'm here for it. It was still smooth. You know what I mean? But
that's my skip.
Oh, got it.
I don't skip nothing else, but that's my skip.
Okay.
Yeah, it was okay. It was a nice rendition, but he's not touching the original. But
no,
it was okay. It was okay.
Right. Yeah. That's why he got okay, Tristan.
Mm-hmm. When I hear it, like it don't even sound bad. But if I hear it, I want to hear Michael.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me go listen to Michael. It's not even ever sound bad. It's just
yeah.
But why did he use the same Mobb Deep beat for this one?
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
I don't know. Like that, I have no idea.
I was gonna ask you the same thing.
Yeah,
I'm thinking maybe he had a conversation with Mobb before he did the album, and they probably told him you can only use one Mobb Deep song, only one beat. You can't use Quiet Storm, you can't use Survival of the Fittest, you can't use Shook Winds. Only one beat you get to use for this album, and he used it twice.
Hey,
it doesn't make sense why you would use the same beat on a different track.
And if you're gonna use a different piece of it.
Right.
Shit.
Right. They have many records you could have used from Mobb Deep.
Or slow it way down, or speed it way the fuck up. Like just do something different.
Yeah.
Chop it up, something.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a point there, y'all. Yeah, he could have used shit. He could have fucked around if you was gonna do it shit, but they said probably only one joint for real. Right. So he had to be cheap. I mean, this is his debut. He ain't got all that money like that. So he like, fuck it, I'm gonna use this shit twice. Like, fuck
Yeah,
it.
I didn't understand that. Especially
Right.
for a Michael classic like Remember the Time, you got to use another beat for this, or
Or
don't do it at
like
all. You
Elise
know?
said, maybe he should have just slowed the shit down and just sing the shit a cappella. Like,
Right, right,
if you were
yeah,
gonna do that, you know what I mean? Just sing the joint a cappella.
right,
I should put my like. I bet like Getaway beat would have been dope on it or something. I don't know.
right.
Yeah.
Something else.
Yeah, like another beat would have been.
Any of them, honestly.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, it could be possible that he recorded this the same time he recorded the other joint, the Henny joint, and he just said, "Yo, we gonna put both of them on the album." You know?
Yeah. I mean, Salam was over it. So
Yeah,
maybe Salam was like, yeah, we're
yeah.
going to use both of these,
Use
and
both.
that's what it's going to be. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. I think
yeah.
he said that in the interview that Salam had threw on like a beat just to see how he sounded on it, and then it kept going, and that could have been one of the joints that he used.
Oh, could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Could be. Yeah. Well, but like you said, they ain't touching the classic now.
Nah, nah.
Nah, this is his homage, I guess, but
Yeah.
nah. This is Teddy and Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And we end the album with Duck Sauce. Uh, this I like. You know, he used the Love theme from Love Unlimited.
Right.
You know what I mean? The Love Unlimited Orchestra. And it kind of gives you kind of like a protect your neck type of vibe. You know what I mean? Like this would have been dope to have like Method Man and
Mm-hmm.
Raekwon and
Right.
Ghostface and all them to kind of maybe spit something on this. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then Pete Rock added some drums to it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which was dope. Which was dope. But I was like, maybe this could have been where you could have got all the Wu-Tang on it and let them do a verse and it would have
Yeah.
been done. But I mean, this is maybe the way he wanted to end the album for real. You know what I mean? It's fun. So it was just like, all right, let's just end it like this. So, but it's not bad to me. So,
And he sampled the My Philosophy from
Yeah, the
Taylor
BDP.
Swift. Yeah,
For
BDP.
your average
yes,
motherfucker.
Yeah, that's from My Philosophy. I love that
yes,
classic.
yes. I forgot about that.
Hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and he did a little bit of ramen. The ramen, was dope, and duck sauce is like a sauce that New Yorkers would know about it with Chinese takeout.
Chinese food, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
yes,
don't want to say
God.
everybody should know about duck sauce. It's something that you
Yes,
use in your Chinese cuisine.
right, right. It's
So
like make sure you put some duck sauce in the
right,
bag.
extra
Like,
duck sauce, right?
yes, make sure you have the duck sauce in the bag. Like,
Hmm.
no.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So it was dope. He did his little rapping. Pete Rock, I love Pete Rock, my favorite producer all time. And
Okay.
he gave him a hot track.
Yeah, yeah, he did. He did. So, like I said, so with the album as a whole, like it gives you the nostalgia, it gives you the feeling of New York. The title was great
Yeah,
because again, the whole album gave you the New York flavor. So call it
right.
a New York love story, you got it. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? I like we said through the whole episode, it's just the nostalgia of it all. It makes you feel good. It's just it takes you back to a place when you first maybe heard the sample of what he was using. You know
Right.
what I mean? And then to have all the producers on here like Pete Rock and them added to the samples, which was dope. You know what I'm saying? So it's an all around dope project. I just again wish he would have just got the promo that he want, but it was a great album, y'all. As y'all can see, we done went through each of these songs and there's no song that we say was bad. It's just
Right.
like, okay, maybe he could use a different sample, maybe this and that. But it's not a bad album at all. It's not a bad album at all. So I would definitely recommend, people go listen to it for real and really give this album a chance. Cause, after this, Matt came out with another album after because I
Yeah, he came
love
out with another
the
one.
other record he got, the 90s
Yeah.
something. Love of the 90s or
Yeah.
something like that. I love that joint. So
Yeah.
it's just like this as his opener, you got to know he's a New York dude. This
Yeah.
is what it is. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
thought it was a dope project.
I think it was a great album. I love his versatility with the rapping and the singing and paying homage to the '90s R&B with the production. It felt like a hip hop soul album done in 2010s. And having the features like Dougie Fresh, even though it should have been beatboxing on that one song, but just having a legend like that on there, and
Yeah.
Method Man and Raekwon from Wu-Tang, because he is from Staten Island, and he rep that on this album, and
Yeah.
having the different production from a Premier and a Pete Rock and Havoc, and it was great. I'm gonna give it 5 mics. I think it was heavily.
Ooh.
There's no skips on this album. Like the fast joints were fire, and he used the familiar samples, and then even with the mid tempo and the ballads, it was still entertaining to keep you the listener engaged, and I love it. I think it's definitely a 5 mic classic, and it was just like you said, it wasn't promoted by the label, and I blame the label. That's not even his fault. That's on the label.
No. No.
But I think this is an album that people should check out. If fans of hip hop soul, if you love like Mary J. Blige and Blackstreet and Jeanne, those '90s albums, they're gonna definitely love this one.
I agree.
Mhm.
I agree.
Yes. So, before you get out of here, Try, we have come to my favorite part of the show, and
Yes.
that is our word association. And today's is going to be word producer association. So, I'm going to give you 5 of the producers that worked on this album, and you just tell me the first thought or song or memory the first thing that comes to mind when I say their name.
Okay.
All right. So we'll start off with like Mr. R&B himself, Neo.
Neo, So Sick. That was like one of my favorite songs from him, from the first album, because I love the way that he was singing on that, and the beat, and him talking about being so sick of love songs on the radio, and that was a classic record. But he had many others, but that's like the first one that comes to mind with him.
I'm gonna copy JR real quick when we did our Neo episode, and he said, "There is no anniversary."
I love how you do that. I didn't do it. I wasn't gonna do it. Thank you, sis,
So
for
that
doing it.
episode you did that, and it cracked me up so
Yeah.
much because I felt you, but it was funny. But
Yes,
I
I
was
just
with you
love the
though.
cadence that he
That's
did
a
it.
cut.
Like, oh,
But you
oh.
was like feeling, so he said, "No anniversary." I'll forget that. Okay.
I love that part. Like, it's just the second verse. I feel like as a song, your first verse is you get you. But that second verse gotta touch you something. You gotta do something for me in that second verse. And that part, he does it. And it's just like, I wasn't gonna do it, but you did it. So thanks.
Anytime, brother.
Yes.
All right. Next, Havoc.
Havoc. Oh man. Um, so many shook ones. Um, Drop a Gem. I think Havoc, like, to me, I always say Havoc to me was in his bag with Infamous and with Hell on Earth. And then when they incorporated Alchemist with Murder Music, it was kind of different. But those
Mhm.
two albums, like any track off of Infamous, any track off of Hell on Earth was classic, man. Like
Yes.
he's a legend.
That's on that Hell on Earth.
Yeah,
It's
that was the one. That was like
it's nasty.
every joint.
That's
He stepped it up.
nasty.
Extortion, Drop a Gem, Nighttime Vultures.
Prodigy
Crazy.
ate for real. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, the Infamous he killed too, but Hell on Earth, he got there,
Mhm.
and Prodigy was a damn animal. You hear
Definitely,
me? Like,
definitely.
whoo,
Yeah.
that drop a gem on him.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yes, God.
Definitely love that one.
First album is like my sentimental fave, but that album right there is like my like.
Yeah, that was the one.
Mm.
Come on. Mm. All right. Next, Rico Love.
Rico Love. I want to say he did Beyonce's Sweet Dreams. He did that one, right?
Yes, I think
Yes,
so.
that was one of my favorite ones from Beyonce. I think that was on the Sasha Fierce album. You didn't like that?
Yes. Yeah, it was.
JR
Yeah,
didn't
it
like that
was.
album? Really?
Shoot, her fans
Her
and fans,
stand-ins don't
they
even like
don't
that.
even love that album
Really?
like that.
Wow.
Like
Well, that
compared to
goes to
how they
show you I'm
love.
not part of the Beehive because I actually like that album. Yeah, I thought there was some bangers on there. Yeah, Sweet Love, Sweet Dreams was good. I definitely like the
I
video for
do
that.
love Sweet Dreams
I
now.
do love Sweet Dreams though.
I like that from the day it came out.
Yeah,
That's one of my cuts. Yeah, I do love
Yeah.
that song.
the beat for that, and the way that she was singing it, and yeah, that was a dope one.
Yeah, yeah. On
Mhm.
that song, the beat was just right, and
Yeah,
her performance on it with that
mhm,
beat was
Yes.
spot on. It's perfect.
yeah.
All
Mm-hmm.
right. All right. Next, we have. Oh, I'm gonna go with next. Yeah. Oh, DJ Premier.
Oh, Premier, damn. I'm
Woo.
gonna go with KRS One, MC Zack like they don't know because the minute you put that on, that's a party starter. Um,
Ooh.
KRS's energy killed it. The beat was infectious. Um, I just love it. I just love everything about it. And if anybody don't know any other KRS One songs, they gotta know that one.
Oh
That
yeah.
one to me, that's like his signature song in like the latter '90s from the self-titled album in '95. That was
Yeah.
a great record.
Yeah. Rapper girls go ew. Okay. And we'll end it with your favorite producer, and that is Pete Rock.
Pete Rock. mm, Um, I'm gonna go with "The World Is Yours" from Illmatic. I know it sounds
Mm.
cliche, but it's so many. But the Nas song with the pianos and Nas just talking about growing up, and it was just dope. And again, it's like a signature song for Nas, and you know having Pete Rock on the chorus. You know, he's phenomenal. Like everybody he's worked with has just been classics he gave them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go with that one. But there's so many others that he's
Yeah. All right. Well, you did it. We did it.
Yes. 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 This is great.
This was fun.
Great.
We made
Yes.
magic. I'm so goofy. Don't love it down. Yes. So before we get out of here, try just tell people again how they can find you, so they can check out all the dope things that you do, so they
You
can
can
love you as much as we love you.
hit me up on Instagram, Triboro_Gigolo on Instagram. I have a YouTube channel, Danny Rap Podcast. You can find me also with the homie Reggie. Nightly every week we do discussions on movies and
Yo,
albums.
Reggie about to come out with his new joint too, though.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah, shout out to him.
Yes.
What up,
It's
Reg?
it's been every time we connect is wonderful. It's been like 7 years strong.
That's
You know,
awesome.
I love it.
so check me out on there, and I do like I'm gonna be on other platforms coming up, and yeah, you'll see me.
Hmm. Yes. Well, this was super dope.
Yeah.
Um, I love it. I love it when we talk about album that 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 we pretty much agree on.
Right.
I mean, even though I love the fights sometimes too, but I love it when it's just smooth, just like when we're on the same page. That's dope.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, and we thank Try, and we thank all of you viewers for kicking it with us. You're a part of our love story, of love for R&B. So we really appreciate it. Bring us some more cousins, and we'll have a big old family reunion one day and get everybody together. I mean
Come
that.
on, OJs.
I'm putting that in the universe. We gonna all get up one day
Oh yeah,
together.
we got to.
Yes.
Yes.